Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Ọ bụ Ada Igbo na-ekwu na Igbo Media. N'Igbo Media, anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara ihe na-emegasị na Biafra land, n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. N'ụbọchị nke taata, o nwere ihe bịara n'iru akwụkwọ anyị nke anyị ga-agụpụtara unu n'ụbọchị taa. Anyị gụpụtachaa ya, unu egee ya ka ọha n'uju. Ị ga-esie ya, ị drọpụọla your comment, like kwa this our video and gbasakwa ya ka o ruo ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ozi anyị wetara unu tata si n'aka otu nwanne anyị nwoke, a Biafra activist. Dịka o si dere ya ozi ya n'iru akwụkwọ, ọ dere sị: Nnamdi Kanu, United Nations, EU and AU resolution. Legality, legitimacy is the only key to Biafra freedom and restoration. Ya bụ ozi ka anyị ji bịa tata na Igbo Media. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ozi, gbaa mbọ gwa anyị chere, ma mekwa ka ozi alụta ụmụnna anyị ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa gere ya ka ọha n'uju.
That a resolution is the product of a hard-fought lobby. Now, the big question is, how does this work? Listen and watch this video till the end. Let's go. What is a resolution? A resolution is a formal written decision, statement, or declaration adopted by a recognized international body. In this aspect, the United Nations. Think of it as an official political stance giving credibility and weight, also visibility and legitimacy to a cause. In this case, the Biafran cause that will eventually lead to the creation of the Biafran state. Now, how does a resolution help Biafra? 1. By recognizing its rights. A UN resolution affirming that the people of Biafra have the right to self-determination would legally validate the claim under Article 1 of the UN Charter. Also, it would force Nigeria to explain why Biafrans are denied what the world recognizes as a fundamental right. Human rights protections. Resolutions can condemn killings, detentions, and abuses against Biafrans. It can also mandate human rights monitors into the southeast. It can also put pressure on Nigeria to stop treating Biafra as a criminal case. International lobby too. With a resolution on the record and on the way, pro-Biafran groups and leaders can approach other states and say that the UN has recognized our rights. Will you support us diplomatically? Also, you can use it to push for parliamentary debates in foreign countries like the US. Then the road to referendum also. Resolutions also recommend and pave the way for independence. The UN will appoint a special envoy to mediate. The UN will demand for a referendum and supervised by international observers. Diplomatic shield. Resolutions act as a political cover. If Nigeria brands Biafra as terrorists, a resolution recognizing the struggle of Biafra for self-determination makes the label of terrorists weaker in international community. It can also prevent countries from cooperating with Nigerian crackdowns on the southeast. Areas where resolutions matter most are these. In the UNGA, which is United Nations General Assembly, these can pass political resolutions recognizing the right of people to self-determination. Example, resolutions supporting Palestine, Namibia, and South Sudan. Also, the UN Security Council, UNSC. This one is stronger but harder because of the veto powers that they possess. But they can authorize peace missions, sanctions, and even referendums if they choose to act. Also, an African Union resolution. African 20 of its charter explicitly protects oppressed people seeking freedom. The AU recognition will shift regional legitimacy towards Biafra. The European Union and national parliaments. Resolutions in EU parliaments can pressure Nigeria, cut aid, or call for dialogue and demand freedom. Now, this is a step-by-step from resolution to freedom. How does it work? Step by step. This is very important, so open your ears. 1, you start from lobbying. From lobbying, you get resolution. So from lobbying, first of all, then you get a resolution. And by this process, a country, a friendly nation will raise it up, will raise up the matter, will table it before United Nations General Assembly and pass that resolution. Because we need a country already in the United Nations, no matter how small the country is, no matter how tiny it is. A country needs to sponsor this resolution after the lobby. And that is where this lobbying comes from. We need to lobby countries, at least. We can start from there. No matter how small they are, we start lobbying them. Even if it's Papua New Guinea, or Jamaica, or Haiti, or some kind of island. You understand? We have countries that are very sympathetic to the Igbo cause. Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Most importantly, Jamaica, who are Igbo descendants. We can lobby them to bring up that resolution for us in United Nations. Because United Nations is the unity coming together of countries. There is nothing like UN except countries. And they are the ones that actually will bring up the case of another person. That is where it's important. So when we are lobbying, we are also lobbying 1 or 2 countries that can start off the process for us. You understand? So from lobbying to resolution, Biafra lobbies groups at the UN and the resolution passes recognition of our rights. Then also, number 2, from resolution now, you get to international legitimacy. If it passes, then internationally now, Biafra will become a legitimate entity, recognized, stand by. It will have rights. They will even have international bodies coming into Igbo land to inspect some of the things that have been said during the resolution. So from lobby to resolution, now the second one is from resolution to international legitimacy. Now, other countries now have legal justification to engage with Biafran representatives openly. Yes, they will not be hiding again, because as it is now, it's very difficult for countries to even talk about Biafra, because you look as if you are trying to divide another country that is your member in the UN. So they are very careful. They're very careful. That is why the lobby is important, to break the ranks, to look for countries that sympathetic can take the risk for you, to incur the anger of Britain. Yes, a country that loves us so much, I don't have anything to lose. That will bring up this humanitarian crisis issue that has been going on recently and in the past, mostly the one of Amnesty International and the one going on in Nigeria, about our politicians and how they have been proscribed even, and Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap, rendition, that's also internationally. We can bring up these things and the UN can pass it as a resolution for us. But it's not when we keep silent now and keep watching with our arms. We need to put the pressure. We need to have people in the UN around, living in the UN area, moving there every week, every day, doing these things. All the money raised by all these groups through crowdfunding and through fundraising, this is what it should be used for. Not by just, lobbying groups just walking up and down here. No, they should go to the UN there and sleep on the ground, sleep in the hall, sleep everywhere, and find those members that we can talk to and get these things done. From international legitimacy to mediation. So international bodies will now appoint envoys to push Nigeria to negotiate. Yes, because now we are now in the open. You can see how the world is supporting Palestine, but Palestine is not yet a country on their own. That's because their case has reached a certain level at the UN. They are at a certain level. They've passed multiple resolutions for their freedom. Multiple resolutions. And it's because of the human rights abuses. And you see the way Palestine always push those human rights abuses to the world to see. And now they've gotten to the world attention. They are at that stage. They are at a small stage now from freedom. A small stage now from their own independence. So let's keep going. Now, number 4, from mediation to referendum. With enough pressure, Nigeria will be compelled to accept a supervised referendum by the UN this time around, when it gets to this point from mediation to referendum. So rolling it back, you have from lobbying to resolution, from resolution to international legitimacy, from international legitimacy to mediation, then from mediation, you get referendum. The next one is from referendum to independence. That is the one I know you want to hear. From referendum to independence. If the people vote massively for Biafra, the world will recognize it as legitimate. So you see it, resolutions are passed by United Nations Assembly for different purposes, and they play a very key role in any decision UN will take. That is the process of the UN. It will be read out at the assembly, and the countries will adopt it as a resolution. That is how UN works. They don't have another way. But before anything can be read in the UNGA, it must have been lobbied in. Do you understand? It must have been lobbied in before they table your cause. And that is the main body of the UN, the UNGA, General Assembly. If the cause is not said there, is not read there, it's going to be very difficult. And anything that is said there, it must come in form of a resolution. So we need now to put pressure more on this lobbying so that we can get to the point of resolution. So we have to find one or two countries to lobby. This time around, as we are looking for strong countries to support us, we also need one or two smaller countries that will be easier to lobby, that can raise the matter up in the UN. Mostly countries that don't have anything to lose. Small countries. These are the ones that can help us. Island countries. That is what people that we can easily, negotiate with. Lobby with. It will be easier to lobby with them. Do you understand? Please, this is what we should do. Not only looking for the bigger countries. We need those bigger ones for bigger things. Yes. But we need the smaller ones to start off the process itself in the first place. Get it very, very careful. Mark these things I say and record them and write them down. Please share this video extensively. Let everyone who loves our cause get to hear about it. We need to keep pushing this cause until we get what we want legitimately. We are not going to steal what we already have. We are Biafrans, and we're not going to steal our country.
Ngwano dalo nine no umunnem dikun sinesera ni Igbo media. Gini kunu were ikwu na nkọwa nke unu. Gbasta maka ihe nno n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Gwa ya ife iche n'ụdị nke gị. Deela ya n'akara kọmentị ka mara ihe i chere. Ma chetakwa tụsa ya bụ ozi ka o were ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị. Ndewo na ụmụnne m ka emesịa nụ.